Right, welcome to the Luke Diamond Show. Welcome to the audience. Part 7. Hope everybody's doing well. 11:30 at night, August 31st, Ontario, Canada, Eastern Time. So from now we're going to keep things simple and keep it more organized for me and for the audience. We'll try our best to do every show up to 45 minutes only. So then you can expect, like how long the shows are and all that. Okay, so let's start the conversation. So last show was very interesting, the ones who were watching it, but the last one is not online yet. So that will be maybe tomorrow night or night after. You'll get the last pt6. This is pt7 now, part 7. So that one you will get the specialized tarot fields and all that. But right now, as I said, I'm using the Blackmagic 6K Pro camera. So we were adjusting stuff. It all worked out. So I'm just rendering the video through the broadcast camera. And later it'll be done. And then tomorrow I will start uploading to YouTube, which takes some time to write. Like these are big files or whatever. Anyways, they're all in 4K. They're coming now from 6K quality, similar to 8K cinema, like IMAX theater, and then we convert it to 4K because if we put 6 or 8K, I'd love to put that, but it's going to be way too big file. It takes probably 2-3 days to upload. So 6K down converted to 4K, just so you know the quality of the video. So you'll have the option on your TV or on YouTube to select from there, and may be able to select the settings on your TV or your Blu-ray player to set to 4K, so everything will convert to the 4K quality that we have with these videos. Anyway, so again, like I said, for newcomers, subscribe to the book, subscribe to the channel, buy the book, and also your support and donation is appreciated to this cause of this show. The main purpose of this show is to help human beings, the human design, and society as a whole. No matter where we are, the consciousness is all connected to the universe, so where we can do a few good things, let's do that, Anyways, so now let's get back to the topic, which most of you are wondering, that the Tarot 3 one is not there, but it will be uploaded a couple of days, and then this one will be following, PT7, part 7. So this one, I said I was going to do a show on numerology. So I'll repeat a couple of things I mentioned just for understanding. So we talked about white, black, positive, negative. We talked about white magic, black magic, witchcraft, just to explain the systems. And earth magic is there too. Of course, there's like a neutral system. It's like in the middle of it. So it's not left, right, or somewhere. It's like center style. But so today was an okay day. Today I got some more done work. I'm learning, few little things on my car. So I was doing something called rust converter. I was using, and surprisingly it worked out great. So I'm going to be doing more painting to it. Did all that today. So kind of a lot of big job was done today. So that's done. That's for my 2007 Lincoln Town Car red and gold limousine. Yeah, I know that's a whole different story, right? We'll get into that too. We'll have a show about the limo one day. We'll do one show in the limo. No worries. It's all coming. So a little patience, one by one. One thing unraveling, one by one. Okay. And I have a sports car too, 1992 Dodge Stealth. So we will show you all that stuff when the time comes. But anyway, so now, first we're going to go to focus now on numerology. So numerology, I just mentioned a few things, right? So we gotta understand the dark, light, all this stuff, and then so numerology, like the numbers, like I said a couple of times, it goes from 1 to 0 to 9, and then it stops basically, just repeats the numbers, right? And it adds up. But now you go to 11, 22. So there's 0 to 9, 11, 12. There's no 10 because if there's a 10, it's basically a 1, right? So we use 10 as a 1 because the energy is still 1 because 0 won't give us extra energy. Now, of course, if we get in full investigation, we might find a little bit of uniqueness here and there, always, right? But you need the time for it, years of investigation. We're talking about But for now, for quick answers, quick, accurate answers, as accurate as the tarot cards can be, as accurate I try to be with my knowledge, information, and wisdom. So, So now let's get into the topic now. Forget about the wrong and right now. Let's try to explore. Let's start our show. So numerology, we get number 1. Okay. We got number 2. Okay. Now these two are not important numbers. I'll explain in a minute. We got number 3. Right? So I'm a number 3. Number 3 is a magical number. So if somebody is born, let's say on the 21st or the cusp around there, if it's 21st, that is number 3. 2 and 1 is 3. Right? That's got number 3. Now, and then we go to 4. Right? 4 has a lot of issues. Okay, I'm going to be straightforward right away. So if you're number 4, now 22 is not number 4. That's not 2 into 4. As I said before, number 11 is powerful and 22, so that's a different realm of vibration. But 4 has a lot of issues. Okay, now we'll go to 5. 5 is, like I mentioned, very hard-headed, very focused on a self way of thinking, no flexibility. So, those numbers 5 have to work on certain things. We all do, right? All do different things. Just because 3 is magical, I also work on stuff too, right? Like nobody's perfect. Like everybody is working on something, right? So it's a fair conversation. Anyways, moving forward. So after 5, we get 6. 6 is a very, very negative number, which we always heard in our life. 6, the number 6 of the beast, 666. What is all this? What is all this fear? 666 beast and 6 and all. Well, we'll get into that too. But for now, let's start the numbers first. So now we go to 7. 7 is spiritual or peaceful, however going to look at it. But that's the realm that's in. 8 number is like infinity, they call it, but infinity in terms of, I'll explain in a minute. So it's infinity. Now we got number 9. Number 9 is very spiritual and powerful too. So I always mention, like I said, 11, 22, 9 and 3. Right? Usually 11, 22 and 9, but 3 if you add to it. Now if you add 11, 22 and 9, right? So just think for a second. What do you get? So 11, okay, so we get 33 and then the 9 is, what is that? 33, 42, right? So see, now this is the point I'm making. Everything adds up. Everything is connected. So we get 42. 42 comes back to what? 6, negative. Right? So what I meant by that, the 11, 22, 9 is the spiritual numbers, right? But the 6 is the negative. But if you add them up, they come to 6. So does it mean something wrong with those numbers? No. It means that they are the solution to the 6. These 3 combination of 11, 22 and 9. Now each one can do their own part, in life. So if you're number 11 or 22 and 9, there's a lot of burden on you and you already are doing it. I know. I've talked to a few people here and there in the past and they're like, oh, Luke, yes, I hear you. I'm number 22 or I'm number 11. Yeah, I understand. We take care of lots of people and a lot of people's problem. Yeah, so continue the great work. But we need to bring the 11, 22 and the 9 vibration into the entire universe system. So that is the next step. I wrote the book. I spent 10 years, 15 years, all this stuff. Now it's time to do the real action work so we can see some results on the planet that we can confirm with the knowledge, wisdom and information about the universe and the cosmos and all these things to talk about. So anyway, so we'll get into that next time, but just to get you an idea. So 11, 22, 9 and 3, 2, but we're going to have to add all this in and when you add the 3, it's 42, 6 and then 3 is back 2. If you add the 3 in there too, it comes to 9. 9 upside down 6. Right? You take 2 9s upside down, join becomes 8. So these are the secrets of numbers. So when you're doing meditation, doing energy practice, whatever, you need to focus on the number shape, the shape of the number has a lot to say. So focus on the shape of the number, not just the number energy. You look at the shape, you start feeling the energy around that shape. So let's say like it was 5 before, right? So 5 is not 5 without the fact that it's 5, like that, right? So 5 is the energy, is a drawing of a design that we call it 5 or 4 or 3. So this is a design, right? Something drawn, right? And turned to call it numbers, I guess, from the history. So, but this H number symbol has energy, a different energy. So anyway, so be careful of that. Like always keep that in mind. And everything is strong, is energized, has energy. So when we deal with these things, we have to be very careful. We have to be very self-conscious, self-aware, high frequency, and then we can understand, maneuver around things, environment, Okay, so moving on to that. So yeah, so my point was today that numerology is a very, very interesting subject. So why did I go into numerology? Because once I finished astrology, I realized that these numbers are starting to have a lot of importance too, right? So now this is nothing from me alone. I mean, it's not a new technology. I call it that, but it's not. It's like telekinetics, like as I mentioned, for energy over mind over energy, the old saying. This is energy over matter. That's the technology I'm using. That's what I focus on. So energy over matter. Mind over matter is like moving objects, right, with your mind, or teleconnect. But this is moving energy, which means like energy meaning it may be energy inside a person, or energy around you, or healing a place into a positive light, and all that kind of stuff. Taking away negativity from the right, from a certain place, things like that, like well, haunted places too, I guess. But like I said, this journey is the reason I'm doing the show now, because my journey here starts into the next realm, the real realm where the real action, hopefully, and things will take place, and we all can enjoy it together and be fascinated by experiencing it together. So, what my point is so far about episode 7 now, that I take very importance to my audience. Now, of course, I don't know who the audience is yet, right? We're just starting this new show, but whoever the audience is, or whoever tries to support the show, or kind of on the side of things we're talking about at least. So I take the audience very seriously, because without you, without me, without us, like I said before, there is nothing, right? There's no show, there's no conversation, there's no camera running. Everything goes still, right? Still. So the importance of audience is very, very important to me. It is very important. And that's why I'm sharing my live experience with the audience, not only the experience from the past, of course, that's common sense and a natural thing that will happen, but experiencing together. Like if something happened today, I'll mention it, like in the show. So something to look forward to from life experience. Together we explore it. And like I said, I would love to see comments, ideas, positive ideas. But if people want to get into heavy conversation, we can do all of that, right? We got the email, we got the comment section, we got my website, we got my phone number, right? So so like you can always text me, like to keep it simple, like 705-728-1928. You can text me. I won't pick up the call because they just do a scam for the call. So just text and say, "This is my name. I saw your YouTube show, Luke David Show, and this is my first last name. I do need that much so I can understand who it is. I guess whatever. And your location, meaning are you in Ontario, Canada? Like where are you, right? If you're whatever, so at least I'll know you're in Ontario. This is your first last name. Okay, fine. Then we can start a conversation. If you want to ask something or buy the book or have other questions about other services." Right, I mentioned. So, anyways, so now we are going to. This is all exciting, coming slowly in, right? So now back to the numerology part, right? So the shapes, the numbers. There's so much once you get into, like if you take your head out and you put towards the universe, like it's huge, right? One lifetime we won't learn all of it. I can't either, right? So imagine the people who don't know much about this, they have a very short start, a very late head start, right? So that's the thing. So that's why I made the book simple, to speed up a little bit Like I said, always do things slowly, but speed up in context of that. The crash course is like that, like it takes you into lots of stuff pretty smoothly, quickly, and easily and naturally. So you can enjoy the ride, kind of, like, oh, look at that, all right, no problem, next. What's next? So anyways, back to the book, to the numerology. So numerology is part of the book chapter. It explains a lot of things I'm talking about us in the book too, of course. And so we go to numerology, then the book we mentioned the color spectrums and all those energies, and then we talk about healing lights and colors and all that, and then we get into like some little bit of chakra, not specific to chakra, but similar, and then we get into realization of the mind, that the omnipresence out there, this burst of emotions and all that kind of stuff. When you buy the book, you'll see lots. There's lots in there. Every page that you will turn in this book is golden. It's not silver, it's golden, because you're going to find so much on that page, even though it may look just piece of paper or whatever, like, just like an image of a page with a picture on it or text or whatever I'm explaining or whatever's there. But it is like really, really like so much knowledge in each page, as you take your time to study it, and that will unlock the next mystery to the next assignment or next page, whatever. So a lot is in there when you buy the book. And the book is only $9.99. We kept it simple price on Amazon Kindle book. And then later on, if you want services, they are $50 an hour. I try to keep it really low cost, as we were talking about that out there. If you go to commercial astrologers or certain people, it can be costly, I understand. So we try to keep a reasonable cost, $50 an hour. And you'll also notice that how much you'll get in that hour. Like somebody could say, I'm only charging 50, but what do I still get for it, right? You get quite a bit for $50, right? So sometimes you go to commercial and you spend $200-$300 and you're getting bits and pieces, like slowly going there. Like I'm not saying that way, but what I meant, like there's expensive services out there, really expensive. Right? So depending on your pocketbook and stuff. So I don't want anybody to think, like I said already, this is a spiritual show. We're not trying to make a lot of money. We try to help people and survive with some support, donation, buying book, and services to provide back to you. We try to keep it as low cost as possible. We will try to tackle some things within that hour of $50. So the point is that each person, if it comes in, each client, so we're not trying to you know what I'm saying. Like if I don't have all this information about you, let's say, or about what I'm talking about, right? And then you say, okay, it's $50 per hour, yes. So it's not like I'm going to take 8 hours to explain, right? Like it's not like that. So it's going to be within $50, and then if you need further than what I'm giving it at 50, then you can add another 50 per hour to that. But if you feel that I've given you quite a bit, like I said, that's my intention, to give quite a bit in the first hour, so we don't have to get to 8-10 hours like that, to save you money too, right, in time. But if we can do it in the half the time, maybe 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, again, depending on the situation. Some people may require a lot more time, but most people, I would say, within 1 or 2, 3 sessions, they'll be on their way, basically, right? So that's the point, low cost. And I want to also mention my music studio here. We'll talk about that again, the limo, the studio, the cars, and all this stuff. So music studio is going to be $50 an hour. In Canadian dollars, most of the studios out there are usually 75 and up, right? So again, I'm trying to keep it low cost, and at $50, we'll give you all the expertise I have, composing, songwriting, creating music, or whatever your assignment is, or making a video, music video, TV ad, commercial video, blue screen, green screen. I have everything here, right? Now, most stuff I can do from here, so people don't have to physically be in the studio, I guess. A lot of things done through online. But if they need to do something physically, then we can arrange a time. Either I can meet them or they can meet me at the studio, I guess. Like that kind of stuff, we'll see how that goes, depending on the client, depending on my situation, and what options are available at the time, right? So definitely ask whatever option you like and whatever I have available, and then we'll go from there. So that's about all my services. Okay, now that's covered now. So www.lukediamond.co.uk, info@lukediamond.co.uk, email and website. Okay, you got number, website, everything is ready. All right, so please contact me. as soon as you want to solve some problems based on what I can do or what I can explain. So now we are going to look at something about numerology, right? So numerology, even though it's not part of astrology in a way, but it kind of overlaps, like I said, right? So we really have to, have to get in deep with it, right? We have to make sure that we understand the basics of the book. That now that we know the basics, what signs are out there, all that stuff, and now we're going to say, okay, so now there's astrology, now is numbers, okay, so now slipping from number signs and stuff, and now it's numbers, yeah. Well, numbers have a significance, like, not just the numbers I mentioned, but numbers like when you're born, right? Time of birth, the degree of the house born, lots of numbering information, angles. So it gets into very complex mathematical, right? Algebra, whatever, geometry. I mean. But now, we're going to not worry about that right now. But what I'm saying, so study it, but numerology is very important. So when you're talking to someone, now I'm going to give some advice in the show, meaning like a free advice for now, of course. So when you talk to someone, if they are number 11, right? If they are number 22, or they are number 9, or number 3. So keep in mind, I'm number 3, right? Okay. I've met a lot of number 3s, like over the food, stuff like that. I've also physically met some number 3s. Are they all same? No. Like I mentioned, everybody's still very unique. This is just a basic guidance advice on how to understand things. But it could turn. So for that you have to master things, of course, with the book. But things could go like this. Oh, number 3, oh, this person turned out. What happened? Well, nothing happened. They're still number 3, but they also have a different sign, time of birth, life experiences, cultural, religion. Everything changes us, right? Environment, where they were born, what city, what experience they had. So a lot of, that stuff. So everybody is unique. So let's respect everyone in a unique way, that everybody's coming from a different angle, from a different place. We gotta really understand this. And then when we are open to that, right, then we don't feel so hasty. We understand. We want to know more. Okay, so that's what happened, and then that happened, and then this happened. Okay, I understand. Continue, I'm listening. Like that kind of a thing, right? To keep an open mind and hear them out. Hear them out, hear people out. So give them a chance. Everyone. Give everybody a chance. So now, if you meet, so keep that in mind now, right? It's not 100% that part. But if you do meet people who are 11 and 22, especially those two, and even 9, I would say, right? But again, I met some 9, they were amazing, and some were like a little bit like goofs, and So it's not like they're not 9, they are, but their life experience, right? So astrologically we get affected, vibration-wise we affected, personality, I'll get into later, we get affected. The human design, birth chart is affecting us. The way we lived our life, or experiences that happened to us. So it changes us, It becomes very complex. So somebody with a 9 could be like a 6, or somebody with a 6, which is negative, could be a 9. Because of their experience was so positive in life. It depends on the person, like I said. That's the key to this whole topics. Everything is unique. Do not assume what I'm saying is 100% like written in stone, because it will change as we go along. That's my whole point. That's what I've studied everything. So it will change, and you adopt to it, and then you learn and you move on. You get to the better realms of understanding. That's all it is. So now we see this, the number comes in, okay. So this person is 6, okay, I'm getting some bad vibes, but they seem to be okay overall, okay. Well, because maybe they had a good life, they had a good experience, they have a good family, they have a good upbringing. It could be lots of reasons. So you can explore them with people you meet. But what I'm saying that numbers let's start from there, step 1. So now, audience, no matter what number you are, that doesn't matter, because as long as you're my audience, right, you're supporting the show, it doesn't matter. You can be 6, okay? If you have any issues, contact me. If you're 5, contact me. If you're 4, contact me, no problem. Text me or email me saying, okay, this is my number of birth on the day I'm born. I'm born number 4, or I'm born on the 13th or whatever, right? Number 4, 3 and 1 4, that kind of thing. So yeah, so we will discuss. So it's open to everyone who's supporting the show. Of course, people who don't support it are not interested in this kind of stuff, don't have a strong appetite for spirituality, meditation, self-awareness, realization, caring for the entire planet, universe, and everybody in it. That I understand. I mean, that's their path, and they will reach their heights whenever they choose to do that, right? But for most people who are supporting the show, I'm focusing on you because that's all I can do. We live on a world of 8-9 billion people. Of course, I'm just one person, right? Taking a huge burden on me, as you can see, and what the things I'm talking about and the things we're trying to do with the show. It's not easy for one person to do all of it, right? So let's try to share some thought. Audience comes in, support the show, support me too as a human being. I'm supporting you, right? Let's connect with each other. Let's take care of each other, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. But anyway, so enough about all that nice stuff. But now what I'm saying that let's act like we are a family. The audience and me and the author is like a family. It's full connection. You can talk to me about anything. Don't be scared. Say whatever you have to say. If you have concerns about certain things. But anyways, so now we're going to get into okay, so now that we've covered all that ground, like, so now coming to the audience, like we are feeling comfortable now, right? Talking to you, you're talking back to us, like meaning you are listening and feeling and getting the information. So back to the 11, right? So on 11, all we have to do is we have to make sure that no matter what number you are, this is my final advice, not, the final advice, but final advice for this show or what we're talking about at the moment of time. There'll be other advice, suggestions, recommendations, of course. Some mandatory things will come eventually. I mean, it is a serious realm we talk about, right? Anyways, but we'll keep it, like I said, as nice and joyful and light. You don't have to get over serious about things. Life is already serious, like I said. Try to have a laugh, try to smile. It's hard, I know. Even I feel that sometimes. So we try, right? So we can do. So now you want to make sure the final thought on that one is advice that no matter what number you are, try to meet people who are 11. Doesn't matter how old they are, meaning like if they are older people or whatever, that doesn't matter. Meaning usually as long as, they are a legal age, I guess, or whatever. But just make sure, that they are number 11 or 22 or 9 or 3. Just focus on these 4 numbers. And then somebody might comment and say, oh, I'm at 11 or I'm at 22 or, wow, this is a great experience. I can talk to them, no problem. They were just talking to me like Luke is on this show talking openly to everything. They were very easy to approach. They were very approachable. So, that kind of thing. So now focus on this. Now I'm not saying don't talk to the other numbers, but I'm just saying focus on these numbers. That's what I'm saying, because life is short. Because you could be the 4 or the 5, like I say, that's fine. You can be bodies, I'll be there, right? But what I'm saying, whoever number you are, even if you're 11, meet 11. Even if you're 9, meet a 22 or 11 and a 3. Like, do that, regardless what number you are. So that's straightforward, right? That's a fair game. So do that. Get the experience, get the vibration. But of course, if you're definitely, what I'm trying to say, if you're a 5 or a 6 or a 4, definitely please go and meet or chat or talk to somebody. Doesn't have to be always a physical conversation. Meet in a safe public area or whatever. Like people, meet people every day. I mean, that's what I meant. So, but make sure that they're 11, 22, 9 and 3. Now, you could be one of those numbers too, but that's okay. Share the knowledge, share the message that I'm giving, share this information. And share the links for the show, because that's how we're going to expand this, right? It's the new beginning. In the beginning, we all know this is going to be like extremely difficult to get enough views for the show. But we have to do this, and we have to all be in this together as many subscribers and audience, clients, supporters we can get. The earth will reach those nice heights. And another important thing I mentioned, I'll talk about that now a little bit, the red flare planet. Okay, so I got my book done, right? I mentioned the book. Okay, I'll bring up the book for a second here so you people understand what I'm talking about. So this was the book, right? By Luke Diamond, The Miracles of Red Flare Omnipresence. Now this is a physical copy, but you get the one in the, and I will share something interesting, and that will be quite interesting. The front page is very, very interesting if you focus. Right? But look at this page. I'll only show one right now. You'll see some online for free to look at the basic pages before you buy the book and make a decision. But look at these beautiful, beautiful pages. Imagine looking at those images. What's really in this book? I wondered too when I was writing it and all that. But anyway, so now, we say, okay, fine, we go to this book and start studying. Now, what we have to also do, now, I'll make an important point into this numerology show. So we also use the word omnipresent. We don't use the word God. We try not to. Not that anything wrong with the word. But the energy of the word is not up to the par for the praise of Almighty is a nice word. God has many, many names. Omnipresence has many names in many cultural regions. One of the most interesting names I recently heard, well, I knew about it, but I recently heard and I went to a church to check out the place, and made a comment about that one. So Yahweh is a very beautiful name of God, and that's an ancient name from the Jewish text of the Jewish times, and it also converts to the name Jehovah, right? So now again, people hear different things, different names, different stories. I mean, that's fine. That's their personal business. But God has different names. Jehovah is one of them. It's one of his personal names from ancient times, like originally like Yahweh and Jehovah. But that's just, again, a name. So people get too fixated on these things, right? Like the name is still a name, even if it's God's name. Like omnipresence, right, is a word. Sure, behind I understand what it is, but it's a word, right? So don't get too fixated on the words. So whichever way you want to pray to God, whichever way anybody wants to understand oneness of God, as there is only one God declared by most religions and claim in the world we live in. So oneness is God of importance, but it's the same God. But of course you can't take a totally different name and say, okay, well that's the same God. Of course, no. You know what I mean, right? Like, so you have to have certain names that has been registered by God in history. Yahweh, Jehovah, right? In Arabic they say Allah. So there's lots of names of God, right? It's the same God talking to different religions, different cultures, and different people at different times. That's all it is. There is no conflict between Abrahamic religions in reality. Sometimes there are conflicts within a religion, and there are really none. Nobody's going to agree on everything anyway. If we keep that open mind, there is no conflict. Think about it. We are the humans, we are the political machines. We create the conflict. There is no conflict. So remember, it's self-inflicting, most of it. Or not all of it, but most of it in life. So if we do the high spiritual work, there's no conflict with anyone. Everything works beautifully, and everybody is in harmony with everybody. Because everybody wants to be happy, like I said. Everybody wants to feel good. Everybody wants to feel good health, have enough money to support themselves, their family, and a few things they like to do. And that's all it is. Very simple. Don't get into complex stuff. Well, this person saying this and this is claiming that. Well, that stuff, like, you can get into all that, but that has no end. It's like a loop, right? Infinity. There's no end to that. So keep things simple. Almighty, omnipresent, Jehovah, Yahweh. God has many names, but it's the same God. Don't fixate. Say, well, if this person Luke says is Jehovah, okay. Well, I don't say that. Okay, so what's the problem? I say omnipresence. Okay, that's beautiful. I think that's the best name. But anyway, according to me, my view, my opinion, that's I think the best way to represent God or present God. Omnipresence, because that truly, talks about the universe and beyond. Other names are still a little bit like as a human name, kind of, right? You know what I mean? Kind of context, like a human being, like, okay, that's the name, okay. But that's really omnipresence all around. That means, oh, okay, that's not just a human name, it's an omni name, omnipresence, I mean, right? That's what I'm saying. But anyway, so don't feel left out. Because when we sometimes use certain words, subconsciously, we don't realize that we are secluding, like segregating ourselves away from everyone else, like a reclusiveness. So that's not us doing it. That's naturally happening subconsciously. Like I said, one person says, "Oh, I say this name of God, and I say this. Oh, you are that religion. You are this religion. Oh, okay. You're that culture. You're this culture also." But they are all people, right? We're all people. We all equal in the eyes of God, and we are equal in terms of, if you look, the basic attributes are all same. There's no specialty, like one culture is like an alien, you know what I mean, like the blue and the greens. It's not like that. Think about it. It's not like one culture has spaceships, right? I can understand a little bit that, right? Well, look at us. We do have things you don't have at all. No. Nobody has spaceship. Right? That's the other thing we're trying to explore too, right? We haven't got there, but they're saying there's somebody out there. Well, Almighty is out there, but what else is out there, right? So, no culture has spaceships and things saying, oh, look what we have and you can do. No, everybody is living the same sad, miserable, hardship life. Nobody is anywhere, okay? Don't think that somebody got somewhere and you're not anywhere. No, everybody is struggling. We're all in together, and only few people, like we said, the elite at the top or the globalists, whatever terms you want to use, are the few people who, have made certain choices in life to focus on making money. So they did that, right? So, that kind of a thing. So, again, only few people are powerful and have the money. The 99% of the population, doesn't have that, right? All over the world. So that was the part of the show too. Like, we need to bring the wealth back to the masses, the government, and everybody work together, create equality in terms of finances too, right? Not just spirituality, equality, but also finances. We gotta bring everything into an equilibrium, right? In the center, right? Like a centrist. Like, we gotta bring everybody in. That everybody have the say. We don't have to censor anyone. We should be talking to each other. We have to. We don't have a choice. Because if we don't, the other alternative is not really good, as you can see out there. It's not good at all. Not good at all, meaning that has no end to it. Like I said, the gossips and the loop never ends. Infinite negativity and the hate. So we gotta talk. Just sure, we'll have differences and difficulties, but let's get through them. Let's try to understand. Let's try to give good messages to each other. Let's try to be positive with each other. And don't do it this way, please. Like, one person says, okay, I'm being so good, but the other person, well, we both have to be good. You have to encourage them to be good. They both have to give and take. There's no giving and no taking. I don't think that ever made sense. I mean, people talk about that in cultures and religions. There's no giving and taking. There is give and you take. Meaning, like, there has to be some exchange, right, in life. So, anyway, so that was today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. I will actually go one more show for you right now, make another one for the numerology to continue to it. So, everybody have a blessed day, enjoy your day, and be safe, and talk to everybody soon. And thank you for watching Luke Diamond Show. Subscribe, buy the book, support the show, and donation. Thank you.